I'm Dax Lujan, and this is the Spotlight Kid. Good.
So, man, tell us where you're from and how you got started on playing drums.
So I'm from Bloomfield, Mexico. I got started playing drums because my dad's a drummer, and he had his Gretsch kit set up in the garage in like '83, and I just started putting the headphones on and playing the Styx music, and then just kind of working my way up. I never took it too serious because he was always out playing. He started in bands in the '60s. He still plays today. Yeah. I took most of my influence from Bay Area thrash, like the main guys that came out of there.
You, with Requiem Mass and with Anesthesia, have opened up for some pretty huge bands that were national touring artists. What was the biggest show you've ever played with, either in Requiem or with Anesthesia, as far as opening up for somebody?
As far as opening up, the biggest show in terms of people was the Edge Fest. We played, I want to say it was 2004, and it was with Damage Plan and Mudvayne. I think it was Mudvayne or Static X, one of the two. Just in terms of people, I've never seen that many people like actually come to Requiem thing. When we were on the side stage and we hit the first note, and everybody from the main stage just ran over, and this pavilion was packed. It was amazing.
Nice.
Biggest show we've ever played was at the Journal Pavilion when we played the Family Values with Korn.
What's the maybe funniest experience you've ever had as a drummer in either band or anything that you've ever, what's happened on stage that it's like you can't even believe it happened, but it did?
It's all Jake, man. So every time, like, Jake will come up, we'll get excited in the middle of a song, and he'll punch one of my cymbals. And there's times, man, I don't tighten it up right, or I'm using somebody else's gear, and he'll punch a cymbal, and it just flips completely upside down. And then we're both trying to figure out, like, in the middle of the song, like, how are we going to fix this right now?
Yeah.
We usually have that, and then in Requiem, we had a breakdown in the song a long time ago, and our singer, Cody, was getting into it. And he was just headbanging his hard. That's back when we all had long hair. Headbanging, he comes up and got dizzy and then just fell into my whole kit. And I wasn't even mad, like both of us were laughing so hard, like in the middle of these fast songs trying to get Cody back up and playing, and he's a singer, so those are a couple of the funny things like that.
Anesthesia just put out an album, title of it.
We did, it's called Humans.
Okay. How can you get it? Where, like Facebook or?
It's on iTunes, I think it's on Amazon, and then if you come to one of our shows, we actually are still old school and printed copies. Yeah.
Now, the previous kit you showed us was amazing and practical, but this is your War Machine live.
Absolutely, this is the beast. This is the metal beast.
All right.
This kit, I designed it to play heavy metal, and that's what it does.
Talk to us about it. The type of kit, the brand, some of the special features that you designed for this kit.
Okay, so it's custom DW. It's all birch wood. It's what they call a VLX kit, which is it gives it a deeper tone. I did birch wood because of the faster music that we play. If you got maple, maple sings. Maple resonates a lot, so I didn't want a lot of resonate. I wanted to be able to be quiet and do fast rolls and get in and out. But I also wanted the sound that comes with the DW and the custom craftsmanship. And as you can see, it's an olive ash burl, so the outer layer of the drum set is actually specialty wood. And burl is actually from a sick tree. So this is what the grain does on a sick tree. So they take it apart, you polish it, put it on a kit, and it just looks amazing. No two kits are alike.
It's an amazing finish. It's beautiful. It looks like the surface, or not the surface, it looks like Jupiter.
It absolutely looks like Jupiter.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of eyes on one of the other toms here that has that. And it looks like the storm on Jupiter.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What about your symbols and such? What do you use as far as that goes?
So all of my symbols are all Paiste. I play roots, Paiste roots, and I did that because they're designed for heavy metal. Paiste is a company that designs they have multiple lines for rock and heavy metal. I totally respect that because if you're going to support the genre and the music that we love, then I will support your company.
Right.
I have, there's different sets of roots. I have two different kinds of hi-hats. So I have wild hi-hats for my mains, and I have regular roots for my auxiliary hats. And I have one custom ride cymbal, which is the Psychoctopus from Achilles Priester. And it's his personal thing, and it's an 18-inch ride cymbal with a 24-inch bell on it. So it's got a huge bell. It's a smaller space, and you can squeeze it in where you want to. You get a big sound, and you get a big bell sound. So it's a really unique cymbal, and it's all black. So I have a 3DP rack, which is built by DW. It's a 3-tiered rack, and I did some custom modifications on it myself in order to expedite getting on and off stage quicker. So this rack will split into 3 separate units, and I built my own legs and put them on the sides, so that each unit will stand on its own. You can break them apart into 3. So outside of a gig, and usually in the parking lot, I build the kit, and it looks just like this. Then you unlock the fronts. 2 people can grab the front, 2 people grab the sides, and I can get from the back to the stage and ready to play in 7 minutes. So this is a Zill bell. This is the only remnants of Zildjian I have left. I've had this particular bell for, I want to say, 20 years, and I got it because when you hit it, 1, it's obnoxiously loud and it'll cut through anything, and 2, it will ring forever. So this is what it sounds like. And it'll resonate for days.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I use it every once in a while for an accent and just hit it and let it ring out.
Right.
But I do a lot of writing on it too, so I can do double duty and do like a rhythm like. And if I'm doing that with the Gigabell that I have now too, I can go from the bow to the down here and this one. So I'll have 3 different bells that are running at the same time.
Okay.
And then I can do really complex, intricate rhythms with that'll follow the song.
When I see you jam, you always have gloves on, and I dig that. Why do you wear gloves?
I wear gloves. One, I thought it was. I didn't wear them for a long time because I thought I do a lot of stick tricks. I thought I was going to be able to be hindered by that, but I'm not. And I do it because after I was through playing all the time, my fingers were bleeding. So I would just constantly bleed. And I just started looking up other guys that were doing it, who was wearing gloves. I went ahead and I play a head sticks on the big kit, so I looked into their gloves. They've got patches sewn in on the places that started to bleed, and ever since I started wearing gloves, it doesn't hinder my movements with the sticks, and I don't bleed after every show.
I liken it to a quarterback that plays with glove on his throwing hand. It doesn't prohibit you or you. I mean, now you're used to it, but at first, did you kind of second guess yourself for using them?
Yeah, and then the only thing I noticed when I first started using them was if I was doing a stick trick, I would have to open my fingers a little wider. But once you get that into your mind, you start getting the muscle memory back, it's not even a problem. And I know there's a lot of haters about wearing gloves out there. You play like I play, then you can come talk to me. But I love gloves. I love them, absolutely. And anybody that wants to talk trash about it, Vinnie Paul wore gloves. Dirt from Soilwork wears gloves.
Some people just have a preference, right? Talking about gloves, I thought initially it was more for grip of the drumsticks. I know you go through a lot of drumsticks, and most drummers do. They break, you have to toss them. Sometimes you're just throwing them out to the crowd. Tell us about your drumstick experiences.
Okay, so my drumstick experiences, you're gonna love this. All right, so I don't use them for grip on the drumsticks because Head and Vader have their own stick wrap. So I use that, and it's perfectly cushioned. It's great grip, and I only use this because I don't bleed when I'm done. It doesn't crack my hands up. I use head sticks because they're aluminum. I can get about 3 months out of a drumstick on this kit before they'll break. So the head sticks last longer. They do have a different sound, but the durability of them is amazing. So the electronic kit you saw earlier, you can't use these sticks on there because they're made of metal and they're hollow. And for some reason, when you're hitting drum pads, it's a little more stress and they'll pop. So I use wood sticks on the other kit and I use metal sticks on this kit. And the good thing about these two is if they break, they're in a sheath. So I can pop one and then get to the next part of the song and grab another one. So, and it'll last. The only thing is, and I don't throw these out because they're like 30 bucks a pair, unless I'm throwing one up in the air and it lands in front of Jake, our singer, because his ass will give one out to somebody and then he owes me 15 bucks.
There you go. So what's the funniest experience you've ever had throwing a drumstick out?
That was it. I was throwing one out and then one just kind of got away from me, and it was at Sunshine, so the roof is way higher. So we have a song where I can get some good air. So it's called Smoke. In the middle of Smoke, I'm throwing this thing up. I miss it. I'm really good at, if I miss it, the only way people know I miss it is if it falls to where somebody can see it. I've got 2 bags of sticks back here. I can grab another one instantly. This one falls in front, and then Jake ends up picking it up and just handing it out. It's like, I got wood sticks back here for that. My nice one.
Name a drummer outside of the metal genre you admire.
Outside of the metal genre, Terry Bozzio.
Oh, nice.
That he's hands down the greatest drummer ever. So. What he can do behind a kit is amazing. He turned a drum kit into a coach drum. That's hands down one of the best I've ever seen.
Terry Bozzio of Missing Persons fame.
Yeah,
Jeff
right?
Beck, you name it, he's been there
Frank
behind
Zappa.
the kit. Frank Zappa,
Yep.
There you go. Any parting words that you have, any advice maybe that you might have for young drummers, especially going into a metal band? Either what they can use from an equipment standpoint or a style of technique or just even a philosophy.
Man, first thing to do is, like, you gotta feel what you're playing. Like, music is everything. So if you don't feel it, there's no sense in doing it. Gear, start off small. You don't know if you're gonna like this. This is expensive. This is if you're gonna get into drums, start off small. You like it, upgrade. Just keep upgrading. That's what I did. And practice every day. You're doing rudiments every day, or you're sitting there with headphones and playing your favorite song every day. That's it.